There seems to be three macro phases of self-realization. In the first phase is when the individual has no idea that self-realization is possible. And this is very, very common in the West. In the West, we are not shown the way to eternal peace. It is nowhere in our environment, in our economy, in our society that says, hey, there is an option to turning within and discovering your true nature of inherent peace and happiness. And if I represent the individual with this C-like hand figure here, there's the individual who thinks that he or she is a condensed physical mass, this body that has a mind, and it's responsible for all of its actions in this world and in this life. And in the individual is consciousness. And consciousness or awareness is almost, like I said earlier, non-existent in the individual. If it is pointed out, it says, yeah, I know I have consciousness, or I'm conscious, or I'm aware, but so what? It doesn't have any value, so I'm going to continue to ignore it. And this is the epitome of suffering. And I like to say it's almost a crime. It's a crime in the West that self-knowledge is not an option for us to relieve ourselves of our suffering. And some of us are going through significant suffering. In phase 2 of awakening is when the individual hears that their consciousness or their awareness or this thing called self is contained within them, and there is a possibility that awareness can be the gateway to experiencing peace. And what happens is when the individual turns into consciousness or awareness to see if it has value. And this is where the true journey begins. Because the moment you turn your attention to it, and even if you need help understanding how to do that and how to experience a new experience of eternal peace via awareness, the moment you look at this, you realize that this has value. And the more it's pointed out to you and the more that you experience it directly, this consciousness, this awareness that once was a distant, fleeting no-thingness starts to grow. And it grows until these are somewhat equivalent, right? To where, wow, I've spent a lot of time in self-inquiry and I am experiencing this presence come through me now. It used to be in the background and now it's coming to my forefront. And now I'm an individual that has presence. And you go back and forth in this phase. And the more that you go back and forth in this phase, you realize that this is everything and this is nothing, which leads to phase 3. In phase 3 is when the conviction comes in from the individual that awareness is everything that you're seeking. It has and contains all of the beautiful qualities in it that we are all so hard out in this world trying to accomplish and gain. And this starts to significantly drop as this grows, and all that remains is the presence of awareness, of being, of self. And now, this once distant individual is contained in the individual it's a mirage, it's an illusion, so it's not real, so it's really nothing to be contained, but it's contained within awareness now. The world, you could say that this is the world, is now contained within you. This is when you could say that you are no longer in the world, which is this, that the world is within you. And we all know the answer to get from here to here, and that is self-inquiry. That is turning your attention within and experiencing directly these beautiful qualities of our being, of our self. And it's just a remembering. When you turn your egoic mind into the infinite love of your heart, you're just remembering what your true nature is. And eventually, as you go from this to this, all you know is this after a while, regardless of what the world is doing. Because the world isn't going to change itself. It's when you change yourself, how you view the world then changes. So regardless of what the world is doing, you're experiencing yourself and the world from a permanent realm of peace.